Hey folks, what's up? It's Wednesday. We've only got a couple more days till it comes up, but let's be honest. Since about July, we've been pre-gaming spooky stuff because spooky season is here. That's right, spooky season is here, and I've got three of the best co-hosts in the absolute world to talk about this year, which has been a phenomenal year in horror. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So let me ask, Jabba, are you ready? You're muted.
Damn it. I'm ready.
Okay. That's how the show's gonna go, folks. That's what you're getting. Robert, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Michael Williams, are you ready?
Yay!
All right. This is gonna be a blast. All right, so let's have some fun and let's go. So hey folks, what's up? This is TBA News, presented by the Hungry Bleak Show. And I mean, look, it's spooky season. We all know it. It's here. We're ready. We've got a lot to talk about. This year has been phenomenal for like scary horror stuff. So let's do the introductions as always. I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, the hungriest man in the room. And you can take that however you want.
What up? It is your girl, Job Chin, with the straightest thumbs on the internet space.
County.
It's the CEO, the cinema god, is the man on the lower left. You see the little right, you should type Michael Williams.
So Robert World War ZJ running through these streets away from Mississippi zombie monkeys. So holla at you afterlife.
I'm done. Well, folks, I can't top that. I ain't that good. I ain't that good, folks. I ain't that good. I don't even want to discuss with y'all what's going on down there. I like how he takes the victory sip. Clutch.
Yeah.
Robert, that's why I mess with you. That's why.
I'm not going outside for the rest of the year.
Damn that. Yeah, so look, spooky season. We've got a lot of stuff that has been going on. This has been a year of horror, really, when you look about it. And I'm not talking about the political scene. I'm talking about actual like movies and yes, there will be some topical jokes in here, folks, because I like to try to do that. But there's been a lot of stuff going on as far as movies and such. Michael, you're returning. You are again, and I have to do this for Danny, obviously, for my half-adopted sister. Obviously, I have to do it. Michael, you are the cinema CEO. You are the cinema god. How have you felt about the year as far as like series and movies with horror?
In a word, it's been a banner year. And you and I talked on past shows that we've done about how the state of at least American horror, I don't know, was kind of in flux for a bit. Like, it was kind of being challenged by, Japanese horror and things like that, but it is back with a complete vengeance now, like complete. And there have been a lot of really good things this year, a lot of really good things over the last few years, I would say, and it's probably the healthiest it's ever been, I would say.
Yes, as Robert would say, we eating good, y'all. We eating good.
Yes.
Jabba, what's been something that's like stuck out for you as far as this year?
I mean, definitely like the movies. Like, it's if I had to choose one, should I choose one? Should I choose more? I don't know. Like, between TV shows, movies, and comics, it's hard to choose. It's like a whole bunch. It's like a whole cluster of stuff.
There has been so much. I mean, Robert, as a zombie aficionado, obviously as the World War Z name is there. I know that you have to be happy with the franchise of the 28 franchise, as I've called it, dubbed it, and that's not catching on anytime soon, unfortunately. But 28 years later.
Yeah, I love the series. I went into this one with hope, but I don't know, maybe a little bit of trepidation. I just didn't know if it was going to be good or how good it was going to be. Let's just say that. And when I saw it, it just kind of, I like going to the theater and having my expectations excelled over. and it was this weird thing where it was not just like a kind of a like the first one, like an indie feeling type of zombie movie. It was a weird coming of age story about the main boy, the main character that's in it, and it's and I think it, along with it being a horror movie, it could be just looked at just as just like that, and it's just like I like the horror movies that balance the horror suspense with another genre. So something like Sinners, like you have it.
Mhm.
It's a period drama, but at the end of the day, it is also a bloody horror movie. So that's what I felt with 28 Days Later. It was like it was the bloodiest coming of age movie of the year. So, but yeah.
Damn, that's actually and I mean we've had a lot of franchises too. Now you were now job, but you couldn't really think about one. But I know what you did last summer. That's not me accusing her of anything. The movie actually came out. Relax, folks. Relax.
Last summer, so it's like nothing changed.
The eyes got big for a second. What? Oh yeah, the movie. Now you actually let us know in our chat about the newest one.
Yeah.
Being on Netflix. And how did you feel about that one? Like that franchise first? Because there were 3 movies before this, correct?
I know what you did last summer. I still know what you did last summer, but then there was a TV show, I believe.
I thought there were 3 movies and a series, and now there's no. I thought there were 3.
No, I think if I remember correctly, I know definitely it was a TV. I think it was a TV show. We already know it's 2 movies prior to this one, obviously.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what it was? It was a Tubi movie. I know what you had did when you was with them people. That's what it was.
No,
you know what? My bad.
Throw it out the window.
My bad.
Where the monkeys?
That's it. You know what? My bad, y'all. My bad. You know what? That was my fault. But how did you feel about that one coming back?
You know what? As much as I'm like on the fence when it comes to like reboots and long time sequels for certain movies, I didn't mind this one because it technically was like a reboot to like reintroduce I Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay. For anybody who didn't watch it, it's like, okay, this is literally like what happened from the prior movie. So if you didn't watch it, it gives you a chance to recap and watch the entire thing from like start to finish.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize because I haven't seen those movies in so long. I didn't even see the series.
And there's a post credit, but I can't tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil for people who haven't seen it yet. So there is a post credit, so go watch that.
Oh yeah, because we are in the post credit era now, where we didn't have it at that point.
Yeah.
Speaking of franchises coming back, The Conjuring, Michael.
Yes.
And this is what they said. This was only phase 1.
Yeah.
What? I've gone gray since the first one. What are you talking about? What?
Well, if you guys haven't seen any of the Conjuring movies, this is one of the better horror franchises that are out here.
Yeah.
Right. And what I liked about this most recent one, Last Rites, is it definitely ties up at least the Ed and Eileen Warren story to present, right? At least it's in the movies. But it also, in some ways, is what I think they're going to do, which is kind of like a backdoor sort of pilot to a TV series, right? Because that's been their thing that they put out here recently, is that they intend on making The Conjuring sort of a series at some point, I'm assuming on HBO, depending on if it gets sold or not. And they introduce a young Ed and Eileen Warren in this movie. So I don't know if they're going to use the same actors for this show or not, but I would imagine that it's going to be a prequel of some kind and some of the things that we haven't seen them tackle in the movies. So we'll see.
That would be interesting because in the first movie, we're introduced to that whole basement area where they got, and the first thing I thought of when I saw it was, okay, they could do a lot with this franchise-wise, but also it reminded me of Friday the 13th, the series.
Yes.
have that type of. Some of you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because y'all just got done with Similac. I'm gonna let y'all live.
That was me, because I'm like,
But there was a series years ago that was Friday the 13th. It wasn't actually based on the Voorhees everything. It was these two cousins and their uncle were going around getting these cursed objects, and it was every week it was a different cursed object. Meanwhile, their other uncle, Uncle Louis, I think his name was, who had made a deal with the devil. I don't know. It was a real weird show. I don't know. I shouldn't have been watching, truthfully. But WPIX had everything horror at that point, between that, monsters, whatever. Fine, whatever. But that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, oh, they can get a lot out of this with everything. And I know they tried with Annabelle, was I think the one that they really were trying to push, because that was the freakiest one. I mean, a little doll that obviously was freaky.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of The Conjuring too, right? It's like there's the main Ed and Eileen movies, and then there's all these other movies that branch out into the things that are in Ed's and Eileen's room that you should watch too, because those things are connected too.
But that's what I love about it, is having that when you start world building from just one scene.
Yes.
And the things you can go, oh, wait, they've got all this. And we know that we're going to be getting more of this possibly, which is great. Something else that we got more of is more of the Immortal universe.
Yes.
So first we got the Interview with the Vampire. Then we got Mayfair Witches. Now we have Talamasca, the Secret Order, which has been hinted at. I don't know if it was hinted at in the first season of Interview with the Vampire, but obviously in Mayfair, which is the first season, it was hinted at very much. This is an Anne Rice project, obviously. Has anyone seen Talamasca yet?
No, not yet.
I've only seen like the promos for it. I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch it.
I haven't watched it because I binge watching the second season of Interview with the Vampire. Then I want to go actually just rewatch first and second season of Mayfair, which just to get reacquainted with this world, because it's a huge expanding world. But the Talamasca is this order that has been chronicling all the supernatural stuff that's out there between vampires, witches, demons, anything like that, whatever's in this Anne Rice universe. I think this is really fun. I want to see it. First off, they have William Fincher, I think his name is, the actor. I'm always a fan of his. He's always wild as hell with stuff like that. He's a great actor. I love him. Great character actor too. So I'm excited the fact that he's in there. But this is interesting. Again, having these universes and being able to spread out and say, hey, we can do this. I don't know what else is in Anne Diary stuff. I didn't even know about the Mayfair Witches.
Yeah.
But to have something like this and going out there, I love the fact that it's on AMC and AMC Plus. I love the fact that it goes dark. Obviously, you would go dark with vampires and witches, that type of Mayfair. But Anne Rice just had this beautiful way of romanticizing it, but also making it terrifying, but giving it that kind of human drama. Because one of the most terrifying scenes for me in Interview with the Vampire in the very first season was when they had that big fight. And I like had to turn away because it was just this brutal fight between two people who loved each other, and like, what the hell? So devastating. But I love that. I love when you have those aspects of supernatural horror and everything like that, but then you still get down to those human details. You want to be loved, you want to be cared for, you want to succeed, you want to be able to just be free and be happy. But then just tying those simple things to these supernatural beings and creatures and such, I thought was just a great touch. Anne Rice had a wonderful way of doing it, and also while giving it this romanticism and this sexuality, the sensuality, which is also cool. Speaking of sensuality and horror, Robert mentioned this movie earlier, Sinners. I don't know what else I can say about Sinners.
Just applause.
Just
applause.
I could say something.
Yes, brother.
The one that Marvel would like to have back.
I'll say this. This is not talking about the movie directly, but kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, Mike. If Warner Brothers continues to give Ryan Coogler as good a deal as he has, in addition to like the creative freedom to make the movies that he wants, I think they might lock him up, as far as like with a really good contract. for a couple of years, and I think that actually might parlay into him doing something DC Studios related, because that's the thing that he doesn't we haven't seen with him in Disney Marvel. Like he can definitely do the Black Panther movies, but is he doing his own stuff, right? And I think that's what Warner Brothers brings to these directors and screenwriters. As much as we have the criticisms of them as a corporate entity, they do, like, think about Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan was doing the Batman trilogy, and then he gave us The Prestige, he gave us Inception, and he was able to still kind of have his fun. So I wonder if that, Sinners might be the start of something big, between, Warner Brothers and Coogler, which would be really cool. But starting off with Sinners was amazing. So that's an awesome start.
Yeah.
That movie it changed so much, and it did so much for us, and we were just blown away by it. It was just that movie that made you go, wow. And every little bit of it, there's no fat on that steak.
No.
Everything is meat. It's just all, I'm hungry. Everything is meat. It's just meat on there. And everything works so well, and it's so beautifully done and incredible. But if we're going to talk about Sinners, because it's a huge movie and there's got to be Oscar buzz around that, we have to talk about another horror movie that came out that also knocked us off our socks, which is Weapons. Now, Jabba, did you see Weapons yet?
So, okay, here's my gripe about Weapons. It was good until the end. It was good until the end.
You're on my list.
I mean, like, I got the concept. I understand, like, it, and I liked how they broke it up from, like, everybody's point of view, which I thought was good. It was just the way it ended for me, because for one thing, damn, I'd be afraid of those kids too. With that one scene they run through the house, I'm like, damn, that's my house. I ain't doing that.
I was mad because that was my security deposit. I ain't gonna get that money back.
It was just like after that part, and if you know the scene I'm talking about, where like the chase started to happen, and somebody who like wanted to quote unquote scream is like, I'm like, okay, no, you're not doing it for me. I'm like, that just like turn off, like, okay, you're done. I'm done. But like before that, I would say it was a top-notch movie.
So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
One thing I was gonna say is what was his first movie, or at least big one? Barbarian.
Yeah.
So I will say it's you shouldn't have to watch one movie to understand kind of what somebody's doing in another movie. They should be able to be their own thing, right? The one thing I will say about Barbarian is that this guy balanced, I think it's Zach Krieger, balances horror and comedy, and in very screwed up ways. And so I will say, like, even with knowing that, when you get to that end part, I heard, first of all, my wife was clapping, so that was cool. But it was also horrific. But it was that thing where I can understand it being like, it takes you out of it, right? You've had this like tense vibe, like what's going to happen next, and I was like, wait, what? And then you get the horror mixed in with that. So it's funny because the kind of not the same situation, but something similar happens towards the end of Barbarians, which was, I think, the first movie that most people got to know him for before this one. But I loved it. I just get kind of quick take. I love Weapons. Apparently, I saw a lot of places. I was like, was this filmed in Georgia? Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Georgia has, these good old boys have not kicked out Hollywood just yet. So I was happy about that. But because it looked like in my elementary school that I went to down here. So it was just like, it was crazy. But I really enjoyed it. It was something fresh, like Sinners, right? Fresh for the horror movie genre. And I'm really hyped to see what he does with Resident Evil.
Yeah. I can totally understand why the ending may have taken you out of it. because it is a break.
Yeah.
But I looked at that as, because there's a lot of symbolism, and like I've had discussions about this movie, what have you, and I like the fact this was my take on what happened with the children. They were obviously her weapons, even the way that she, like, they ran, they looked like arrows.
Mm-hmm.
You look at how she would command whoever she was controlling. She had a stick with string or hair, or what have you, whatever. Like the hair, let's say. It looked like a bow almost the way she had it.
Mm-hmm.
When it broke, if you're an archer and you're about to make a shot and it breaks, the arrow might go at you. I don't know what, or there's just as a misfire. That's what I looked at it as. Her bow broke and they were coming after her. Let me tell you, that scene, I was sitting there like I was done. I put my popcorn down, I put my drink down, I sat there and I was like, what the, and I was captivated with that scene because I was like, there, she is putting in cardio, and I didn't think that auntie had it in her. She was running through folks' houses. She was running through screens, glass. I was like, she was putting in some Lethal Weapon, like Beverly Hills Cop type glass breaking stunts in there. And I was all here for it. I loved it because it kept me captivated. You do have to, not that you do, but that's why I said watch Barbarian first, because it will prepare you for him. I know Zach from, like, not personally, but I was introduced to him through a show called The Whitest Kids You Know. It was a comedy troupe, and it was a very dark comedy show. It was on IFC. So when I realized who it was, I was like, oh, that's why it's like this. Because the first movie should have been called What's the Worst Decision I Can Make? No, I'll top that. Because every decision was horrible. And then when you saw ramifications, you were like, you got to be kidding me, man. Do the opposite. And she didn't. Nobody did. Yeah. And so that prepared me for it. This movie was even more so. But that's why I was like, watch Barbarian. Now watch Barbarians. Barbarians is actually, it's darkly comedic, but you'll be mad at stuff.
There's also some theories floating around that Barbarian is related to weapons.
Oh, wow.
There's some potential theories about characters being intertwined.
I don't need that. I like shared universes, but I don't want everything to be a shared universe. You know what I mean? Some things I just want to be by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And Barbarian by itself, you're like, what the hell? Nothing. Yeah. So I enjoyed that movie, and I know, like, Michael and I have had talks about Barbarian.
Yes.
We got to talk on the damn train across the seats, like across the way, while the train was full of Barbarian. I was looking at him like, man, Barbarian, let me tell you something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but what were your thoughts on Barbarian, brother? Barbarian? Yeah, real quick, just so Java can get a little taste. I've seen it like 3 times, and each time I'm like,
it's probably one of the best horror movies in the last 5 years, right? Because it's just so, it's so out there, right? And the greatest compliment that I can give Barbarian is, I told my girlfriend Danny to watch Barbarian one night, and I had to go to work. So I'm like, yeah, Barbarian's really good. You should watch it. She's like, okay. And she starts watching it, and she's literally live blogging everything that happens in this movie to me while I'm working. And then she's sending me like audio messages of her being sort of flabbergasted and stunned about the things that are going on. It is just, it's one of those movies that kind of pushes your buttons purposefully, and that's all you can really ask for a horror movie to do, right? Is to push your buttons in a way that makes you mad, makes you sort of also flabbergasted, but becomes this like enjoyable communal experience. So,
the only thing I'll say about Barbarians, and then we'll move on, is that you never know what's coming.
Yeah.
Literally, like it's not like formulaic, like, oh my god, the killers are, you never know what's coming.
Yeah.
That's what I need for a horror movie. Like I need to where like I can't pinpoint like, all right, girl's gonna run and trip right about now. Opening credits come in right about now. First person drops the F-bomb right about now. So it's like it almost gets like a repetitive thing for certain like horror films. At least from what I've seen.
I think you're gonna wind up screaming at the screen at some point.
That's frustrating.
Okay. At a few points, yeah. It's that movie where like it is good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good because I think about it daily. I'll be doing work and I'm like, why would she do that? Why does anybody know why? And I'll you know what? All right, cool, whatever. And I'll go back to work because it's some of the decisions I was like, but then every decision, when you see the ramification or when like the light is shed on it, foreshadow. When the light is shed on it, you go, oh no.
Yes.
Oh. And at one point, I out loud I said, "Girl, what? No, absolutely no, girl." I said, no. I said, absolutely not. I was like, I grabbed my own pearls, my clutch. I grabbed everything and I left. I said, no. And I live here. I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yes, that was, yeah. So what I think Barbarian might be on Hulu now, I want to say.
Okay.
I think it's on Hulu now. So yeah, go check that out and go scream at the screen. Honestly. So speaking of Marvel, we got Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
Which was a animated series on Disney Plus, which came from Marvel What If and one of their worlds. As a Marvel, again, zombie aficionado, Robert, I'm going to go to you. How did you feel about this series?
I enjoyed it. I mean, this was another pleasant surprise, I think, because so I enjoyed the original episode, which was on, I think, the season 1 of What If. But as far as like What If, and it's funny because like I'm the zombie aficionado, but I also love the concept of like multiverses and parallel Earths.
Sliders.
Yes, Sliders. Something through the multiverse. Check it out on podcasts everywhere where you can get podcasts. But I was starting to get a little tired of the What If series because one of the things is that they weren't going outlandish enough for me, and there were literally episodes where it was like, what if this character was this character and this situation was kind of the same, but then something else happened that wasn't getting me right. So when I heard that they were making an entire series based on one of the episodes, one of my favorites, I was like, okay, let's just kind of see what happens. And Marvel acted like, we don't care. We're just going to do whatever we want. and if you are a horror fan, this is for you. I heard somebody compare the violence in this to Invincible and The Boys meets the MCU. And not just because of the violence, it told a very solid zombie apocalypse story arc within those 4 episodes, and it just worked. It worked really well. I love that there were shine time given to characters that don't often get that in the MCU. But yeah, this is not for kids, but it does, I think, take that concept of what if in the multiverse to the nth degree, and I loved it. I loved it. So like I honestly don't have a desire to go back and finish up season 3 of What If, because for me, like technically this is my season 3. Like I will accept this. Like I don't know. I was just getting kind of worn out with that series because it wasn't doing enough for me. But this one kind of revitalized my hope that we'll get some good multiverse stuff with the next movies and whatever. So, but yeah, it was a really good series.
I would watch the season. I was getting tired of it as well. I would watch season 3. I actually binged the season 2 and 3 and then watched Zombies. And I like there's a really big fight in season 3. There's like this huge like climactic, which I actually was impressed. I actually enjoyed the fight. It was actually like big like cosmic type fight. It was actually good. But I can understand your feelings of it. Zombie Zombies was good. I didn't read the series. I just didn't care to.
Yeah.
But this giving light to Blade Knight
Man.
is that what we're calling him? A Blade Knight?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
Bottom line,
yeah,
yes.
Blade Knight, yeah.
Y'all just teasing us now. Jabba, did you see Marvel Zombies?
No, that's on my queue to watch when we were last talking about, but at least I did see the original episode when they were first doing for what up. I'm like, that was still one of my favorites. So I'm like, okay. I'm kind of glad they did bring it back. So I'll be off on Halloween, so I'll be able to binge as all my hard stuff that I want to. So that'll be good enough for me.
I definitely check it out. It's like it's only 4 episodes, and it's like, and each episode what, like maybe 30 minutes,
Like
about
30 minutes, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
It goes by quickly, but what they put into those 30 minutes for each episode, it feels longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gives you, it's almost like a 30-minute movie in essence. Like,
Okay.
like I'm not trying to be funny about it, but it does feel like that because of everything they got in there. And it is definitely not for kids, unless you want to show your kids. I don't know. How am I going to judge you? My parents had me watching like Amityville.
And
I mean,
according,
it makes so much sense now of how I am. But yeah, that's
according to the interwebs, there is a season 2 in development.
Yes.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
I will say, like with the ending, it does end in such a way that if they weren't going to have a season 2, I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you can watch those 4 episodes and you'll be good.
Mhm.
Because of how it does, and you do end up seeing those characters, and it is obviously it's like any other horror, so where you're like, no one is safe.
No, nobody.
No, which is one of the things about zombie movies and zombie is like no one is safe. Not even a lead is safe, truthfully.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We've seen that in movies. Something else that came out. This is a movie that actually hit me a lot. Was Woman in the Yard.
Yep.
It's not on. I don't think it's on Peacock anymore. I think it might be on Prime.
Okay. I missed that window of watching.
I definitely recommend seeing it. I will give you a bit of a trigger warning about self-harm. And I hate to have to use this term. Unaliving yourself. I hate that we have to use that term now. We can't use the actual term because I feel like that's necessary. So we truly get the heft of it. This movie, I still think about it. I watched it on Peacock when it came out. I was like, oh, let me watch it. And I watched it, and it was one of the I don't know how to exactly describe it. Basically, the story is this woman and her children. They live on this farm now. And there was a car accident, and her leg is broken.
Yeah.
Leg is broken, and they start seeing this woman in the yard. She's just sitting there, dressed all in black, lace, whatever, and in her chair. She's just sitting there. And I think she starts getting closer. And it's one of those movies where it's very claustrophobic because it's only really one setting. It's that farm and the house. Movies like that, when it's claustrophobic like that, first off, there's no place for you to run.
Mm-hmm.
First off, she's right in the yard. So where the hell are you going to go? And it begins to play with your mind, and it's that thing that I love of the unreliable narrator.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin to see more and more of what's happening, obviously, which you were. And it hit me in a very, very specific way. I'm not going to tell you the ending because I would like for you to go see it if you have not. But this movie, like I said, is one movie that still sticks with me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, because it had an ending that I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. And it's a 50-50 shot. And you're hoping it's not, but it is, but it isn't, and it goes from there. The actress in the movie, I'm trying to remember, excuse me, her name.
We had talked about Sorry?
What was that, Michael?
Daniel Detweiler?
Yes.
She just, whatever she's in.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to hold back. She gives you, like, just so, you feel whatever plight she's in, you feel it. And I felt every bit of dread, remorse, sorrow, pain, elation, every bit of it.
Yeah.
And what she did, it oozed out of her pores. She just, she was the vehicle of this movie, obviously, because it's more her point of view than anything. but she gave so much. And I mean, the children did a great job too, because you were like, whenever there's a horror movie and there are kids, you go, oh God, please don't let none of them happen to them babies. Please, Lord, don't let them happen to their babies. And it makes it even more claustrophobic because of the children. She's not very mobile because of her leg. And then she's got 2 children and she's going through her own thing. And you find out that her husband died in the car accident where she got the broken leg, and it goes from there. Yeah, that just unnerving. I'll say to describe it. Have you? You saw that one, right, Michael?
I did.
What were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was extremely well done. It also kind of reminds me of a movie that I've seen recently on Max that I had wanted to see during the summer, but then didn't get a chance to see it. Bring Her Back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet because I want to rewatch Talk to Me.
Brother, you need to see Her Back. Bring Her Back means that if I give you a comp for Bring Her Back, it might jog your memory of it, and it might make you want to see it. Bring Her Back is the horror equivalent of WandaVision.
Ooh.
As far as
That makes sense. Yeah.
content
Mm-hmm.
and what it has to say about certain things.
Yep.
You mirror those thoughts, Jabba?
Yeah, because like I said, I did see Bring Her Back not too long ago, and I was like, it was one of those things like, oh, it's like I feel that for it to be a horror movie, I'm like, it feels right in here.
Yeah, which
And
is
now that I guess that comparison, I'm like, yeah, no, I can see it.
yeah, and I was not expecting that part of the movie at all, right? Because the way it's marketed, they play up the gory parts of the film.
Especially like the first, like the opening of Bring Her Back. I'm like, what kind of snuff film am I watching right up here?
Yeah.
It literally is, that's how it is. Like the first 5 minutes, you're like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, but when you start pulling back the layers in this film, brilliant, just brilliantly done. Brilliantly done.
Okay. So I'm definitely gonna have to watch that because it's still on Max, correct? I want to say
It's still on Max.
Yeah.
Because Max got like a library of horror movies right now that they just decided to just go, guess what? We're gonna spook the hell out of you. And to top it off, we're gonna give you Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I still need to finish the episode. I only watched the first 20 minutes of it. I'll finish it.
I couldn't stop watching. I could not stop watching.
Mm-hmm.
This is the prequel, obviously, to it. The most recent incarnation, which was from 2017. Yeah, 2017, part 1 and 2. And this tells the story of Derry and what happens before the before the Losers Club, because you find out that there have been Losers Clubs before this. That's just what Derry does. Within the first 5 minutes, let's say, you are thrown deep into it. Absolutely, whatever. Robert, as a Stephen King, you're a bit of a Stephen King fan, I would say. Just a little bit. Dark Tower, just a little bit. How did you find Derry? I mean, not the actual town, because if you did, good Lord, no, don't bring that mess here. But how did you like Derry?
It was good. I thought it was a solid start to the season. The last few minutes, like if we were talking about with weapons, those last few minutes being crazy. The last few minutes of this episode had me clapping. And I think, like I said it in the separate chat, from a writing standpoint, because they went there and I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. So that's all I'll say. But I think them setting it back in the 50s, or I think it might be the 50s or the 60s, and you're dealing with even racism of the time and bigotry, kind of balancing that with the horror of this city, of this town, I think works. And if you're a King fan, there are a lot of Easter eggs. There are a lot of Easter eggs to the point where I'm just like, are they trying to build the King verse in Warner Brothers? But so I think just, you know, it was a good start to what I think is going to be a pretty solid series, and it makes me wonder: are they going to just continue? Are they just going to continue to go back in time over the decades, or, you know, where we can tell like separate stories about the influence of Pennywise on this, you know, this small town? But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like I always say I was more of a fan of It Chapter 1 than I was of It Chapter 2, but yeah, this one has me thinking more of like It Chapter 1. So definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, I think that's always been the thing with it, even in the original movie, or like 2 movies, I should say. It's always been that because of the children.
Yeah.
It's always been the child factor. When they're adults, yeah, they still have it there, but they're starting to grow out of it, you know, and they have to be reminded of everything. But it's the children. That's always the more terrifying part of it, is seeing what happens to these children, and these children trying to fight for it. And then seeing that Pennywise really only goes after children because they're, you know, they're more susceptible to the fear, and that's what Pennywise wants. In you just seeing the first 20 minutes, Jabo, what do you think? We're not going to spoil it for you, but what do you think?
I mean, if I just at least get like one scene, and you guys know it's like the car scene.
Like yeah, in the beginning, yeah,
oh,
that was
like, all right, demon baby, got it. Not going to dairy anymore.
If there was a reason for me to not want to have children, that scene was it.
But even within that scene, it was just funny how like especially like the mother and father like making a banter in between. And I'm like, wait, did he really say that? Like, did she say that while the kids in the background are trying to argue? I'm like, wait, are you catching the conversation that's going on here? I'm like, that part I found was funny until the demon baby popped up. I'm like, all right, now we gotta go. We needs to go. We're not staying here no more.
You want to know the grossest part from that scene? The liver fingers.
Oh yes.
It was unnecessary.
It was because that reminds me of stuff that kids would do, right?
Yes.
And it just, but it was like this depraved thing where she just simply did what she did, and it was just like, I don't know, I was squirming. But then the
it was like, who does that? I'm like,
exactly.
I mean, you know, I guess that's like our equivalent to slime. Because, you know, like kids like would play with slime, like, you know, just because I guess that's our version of slime if you think about it.
Yeah.
I think,
and also the fact that who likes liver?
Yeah, like
yeah.
I mean, with some hot sauce, maybe no. Like you got fried.
We good. No,
you got fried.
Joints, man.
No, even like this, the thought of the smell. Right now, I can smell it, and it's horrific.
Maybe I'm thinking about gizzards. I don't know.
I'd rather fight 3 bears, hungry bears too, with guns. I'd rather fight 3 bears with guns than eat liver, and I'll take them bears out too. I bet you I will.
Revenant munch.
Exactly. I ain't Leo, but I'll fight that bear. Yeah, this is one that there are some scenes coming up that I really want you guys to wait for. The grocery store scene, the sewer scene, and the airplane scene. We got to see them at New York Comic Con at the panel. And the panel, I was already into it, but when they talked about the panel and everything like that was just so great. When James Remar started speaking, and he got such an ovation from everyone, and it was so cool to see because he was like the elder statesman. You know what I mean? So it was just really cool to see him there. So that's one, and they have a new episode which is coming up early. It's going to be on Friday.
Yeah, Halloween.
Which I think is, again, smart, great marketing to do that, and also, yeah, because we can't wait for another episode. I'm gonna be real with you. I need that whole season like now, stat, and I'm gonna write that down for you, Max. Now, yeah. So another quick one, real quick, as far as like a horror. is we also got Aliens Earth, sci-fi horror, but this time we all know the aliens, xenomorphs and everything, but we're on Earth. And there are other species that we didn't know about before this. This is a prequel series. This series takes place how long before the original?
Let me get I can pull up a timeline.
Because everything feels like it's always like 80, 100 years. It's never like 5 years.
So
Everything is just a big space of time.
Like Prometheus
Yes.
setting, or it's before Prometheus?
It's after.
I
I thought it was after Prometheus.
Yeah, because Prometheus is when they start the xenomorphs.
So they're saying, okay, so here we go. According to the internet, Prometheus is 2093, Alien Covenant 2104, and Alien Earth is 2120, and then Alien is 2122. So it's 2 years before the Sigourney Weaver, the start of the official start.
Like our first.
Oh, okay.
This one's been great. I still have 2 more episodes to watch, but I love the fact that we're on Earth with the alien and these other species that are almost more terrifying to me than the xenomorph.
The eye.
The eye and the goat was unnecessary because I like goats. Why would you do that to the goat? Man, why would you do that to the goat? Why? Yeah, this one was cool to me. I'm enjoying it, and I'm seeing that as we're noticing in the real world, the scariest thing on Earth are corporations. Yeah, the xenomorph's going to get you, and so is the eye, but the corporations are the ones that brought it here.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love. I love another franchise that's coming back after so much time. This has been a year of franchises for horror, which I think is great. So I'm happy that this is coming back, and I love seeing that we're going to be getting Predator as well. I don't know if they're tying them together and everything now, but just the fact that we're getting Predator after Prey and after Predator, the Killer of Killers.
Yeah,
I love what they're doing with these, and keep them on Hulu. I'm loving the fact that we're getting these on Hulu, and it almost makes it like a little niche, even though they're going to be getting rid of the app itself of Hulu. I love the fact that it's like a little niche of this is like their trademark. So I'm very happy with that. One last thing before we go, but as far as like new things, Something is Killing the Children, which is a big comic book from Boom Studios. They announced that they're going to be getting, and this is like new horror, a whole new level of horror for comic book fans and everything like that. They announced that they're going to not just be having a live action adaptation, but also an animated adaptation as well, and that they have been okayed for the run to go up to 100 issues. I think it's up to 45 or 46 right now.
Yeah.
Big news. As a huge Something's Killing Children fan, I absolutely love this. They've been talking about this for the longest time. This is a series that will terrify you. And with a title like that, and the way I've read it and everything, and I've been reading, and I know that there's no happy ending to this comic. There's no way this comic will go and it'll be daisies and rainbows, what have you. There's no way that there's going to be a happy ending to this comic. Absolutely not. There will be retribution. There will be blood. Daniel Day-Lewis. There will be so many things, but there will not be a happy ending. But I love to see that we're getting an adaptation of it. And this has been, like I said, a big year for horror. But let me ask y'all, this year, last year, whatever, all throughout, what is like one horror property, game, comic, movie, whatever is that still gets you to this day? I'm gonna go with Robert.
So as far as video games, it's in the title, World War Z. I like the and it's going to tie into another favorite, but World War Z, the concept overall, going back to the book, is something that I love. So in the book, I think in the game, it captures elements of both the movie and the book really well, but also it gives you the 4-player co-op experience, so everybody can feel the terror, which is great. So as far as like, that's one of my top favorite games. As far as a couple of books, World War Z, I describe that book as War of the Worlds meets a PBS documentary, but scary as hell. It is one of the best horror books ever written, and the fact that they haven't given it a proper adaptation is kind of criminal. And there's one other book I wanted to shine just a quick light on. It's called Episode 13. If you're a fan of those ghost hunting types of shows, this one, it's Episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. It tells a story in kind of a documentary type style of way about this crew going into a haunted house and things going very wrong. And one of my favorite parts of any horror book that I've ever seen, there's a part where stuff is popping off, and then they all look around and they don't see the only Black person in the crew, and then it cuts to her perspective, and then she said, "Yeah, I got in the car and I drove away." So that Episode 13 is a really good book. And as far as movies, I always say Psycho started it all for me, Exorcist, and then Night of the Living Dead, and then Train to Busan. Those are like four of my top ones. Like I said, I love zombie movies, but also love supernatural movies, and The Conjuring, the original Conjuring. But the Conjuring verse has been amazing to see grow to where it is right now. But yeah, those are some that I recommend people go and check out. But those are some of my favorites.
Okay. What about you, Java?
I mean, well, Robert already got with the Train to Busan. That is like one of like my top zombie movies, and I will say, like, for anybody who's want to get into it, you have to watch it. It's just like the way the acting is so compelling, where it's like you feel for everybody. Like this is a movie you want everybody to make it, like everybody to make it. As far as like another one, I would definitely say Nightmare on Elm Street, the OG one, because one has the best death scene with Johnny Depp getting sucked into the bed and a whole pool of blood comes out. One of the best ones. And then I would say Us from Jordan Peele. Like that one was a really good one. Where it's like when you rewatch, and like that's a movie where you have to like watch it twice to understand where it's like, oh, so this is this, and like you start connecting the dots for everything. So I would say those like my top for horror.
All right, Michael, what you got?
Exorcist remains my best horror movie of all time. Can't be topped, can't be touched. I'm curious to see what Mike Flanagan's going to do with this thing coming that he's working on for Exorcist related, but the OG is a damn near perfect experience. I have three other things that I want to talk about really quickly that I've watched here recently. Black Phone 2, an example of how you make a horror movie when you think a sequel can't be made to the original. Check that out. Black Phone 2 impressed me a lot. I recently saw another movie here in the last week called Shelby Oaks. It was produced by Mike Flanagan. And quick sort of synopsis of it is it's what would happen if the supernatural forces got pissed off at the people who tried to do a paranormal TV show. That's really good too. And I just watched something else yesterday on Max. This is a non-traditional horror movie that should have been Best Picture at the Oscars last year. The Substance.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have not seen The Substance has a lot to say about a lot of things. Body shaming, Hollywood, being a star, trying to maintain youth as a star, all kinds of things. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I know that. Like I said, there's a bunch of stuff on Max that they've got. They got a list of stuff. Since y'all want to take my choice, which was The Exorcist, obviously, I'm going to go with one that I talk about every year, which is Triangle. Triangle is a movie that I think about daily. Legitimately, I think about it daily.
I finally saw it the other day, brother.
And you understand why I think about it daily, because there's no actual answer, and you're trying to figure out what's happening. Comic wise, Infidel. Infidel's the only comic that actually made me jump scare. I think a comic could make me jump scare, and it did. I was and that made me go, yes. I actually told the writer, the creator, I said you're the only person only comic read who actually got me to jump scare. And he's like, oh, thank you. I was like, yes, thank you, because I love the fact that you could invoke that you could get that emotion out of me. Hereditary. Hereditary is tied with the Midsummer. Because there's I don't know how to describe them. A24, in the first 5 minutes, someone is going to die in a really ridiculous way, and they're going to slow pan the whole thing. Be prepared. That's just what it is. The movie that messed me up the most, because I still don't know what the hell it meant, was Men. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't. If you ask me, hey, can you give me a synopsis with Men? I'll just leave, because I don't know what to tell you. It's better that I leave than try to actually give you a synopsis. There's no way. Basically, the movie is Men are horrible, but you don't know why in this movie. There's no. You're just as flabbergasted as the woman in the movie. And you're sitting there going, and I was watching it. It was a mirror, like right here. I watched the movie and the ending, and I looked at me, and I was looking, and I was like, and I said, "Men ain't shit." And I threw my pen down, and just walked off. I was like, I don't know. Because there's no rhyme or reason to it. There isn't. But folks, that's the best thing about horror is, yes, you can have your slashers. I mean, obviously, you've got Friday the 13th. You've got your Michael Myers. You've got your Freddy Krueger. You've got the classics there, obviously. You've got the Miner from Bloody Valentine. You've got those slashers. But you have your psychological horror. But the thing about horror is that it's subjective. It's subjective. Some people think that The Wizard of Oz is horror, or The Oz. It's horror. And it possibly can be. Horror is whatever affects you in that way. Some people, the first time somebody said Blade was horror, I was like, no, that's action. But it is horror. It is. It is. It is. Just like Silence of the Lamb is horror.
Yeah.
But it is, because it's subjective, like just anything else. But that's okay. As long as you get that feeling, you're enjoying it, it entertains you, and if it makes you think in a positive way, but also in storytelling, we're like, what happened, what's going on, then it's good. It means it affects you, and that's awesome. That's what horror is supposed to do. Shows you, makes you root for somebody, makes you fear, but in the end, you're entertained. That's all that matters, and that's cool. So, folks, that has been the show, but let us know, what's a horror project that messes with you? Is it a movie? Is it a comic book? Is it a novel? Is it actually the projects? I don't know. Depends on where you live. Some projects about it. I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't going through there, especially not with some new Chucks. I'm not doing it. I'm not walking through with Chucks on a latte. I'm gonna get my ass beat. I know that. I'm not going in there. I'm not, especially if I'm wearing a lavender cap. Please, no, no. And smelling as good as I do, no, flag on the play. But let us know what's something that, like, that you enjoyed that was real. What's your comfort horrors? I know a lot of people out there have comfort horrors too now, which is awesome. So on that note, folks, I want you to have a very good evening, day, night, whatever it is. Enjoy the rest of it. I am Antonio Pomarnis.
This is your girl, Job Chin.
Michael Williams.
It's Robert J.
And folks, remember, enjoy it. Be safe if you're going trick-or-treating or what have you. Be safe. Yeah, check your candies. Check your pockets. Check your gas bill. I don't know. Whatever.
Check your neck.
That's it. Protect your neck.
Protect your neck.
It's Wu-Tang.
I got it wrong.
Wu-Tang. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of it. Be safe. We'll see you next time. And as always, F Trump. I'll see you later. Oh, and vote.
Yes.
Please, God, vote.
Oh,
I did.
That's a horror story. Vote.
Yes.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Have a good evening. Peace. I'm very socially conscious.